Welcome or welcome back. This is podcast number 3. I hope everyone had a very good holiday period, Christmas, Hanukkah, however you celebrated over the holiday period. Stayed safe. I hope everyone got what they asked Santa for. I had a pretty chill Christmas, a very chill New Year with my parents. It was absolutely lovely, exactly what we all needed. Unfortunately, Dad got sick, Mum got sick, and my Achilles injury flared up all in the new year. So that wasn't fantastic, but we got there. I think this is going to be a pretty long one. It's been a while. There's been a lot of knitting happening over the holiday period. There's a fair few FOs, a fair few whips, still some hibernating whips, a few acquisitions, and a lot of plans. So we'll see how we go. I'm filming today because I just got my hair done. So if I am playing with it, apologies. I'm not used to having it down all the time. So I've got my bottle of water. Grab a drink, hot, cold, whatever you fancy, and let's get going. So my first finished objects, I have 2 of the same thing, penny gloves. So I'd seen these for ages, I had wanted to make them for ages, but just never got around to it. And then I saw so many people at Christmas time making them for gift knits. I just gave in. And I was like, I give in. I'm making them. I'm getting the pattern. I'm buying the pattern. And I'm going to make myself a pair. I don't like mittens. I have quite a few sensory things that things just don't feel comfortable for me. And one of those is full mittens. Gloves I'm good with. I like the individual fingers. Gloves with fingerless gloves are good, but mittens, I cannot do them. There is just something about all my fingers being together, confined in a mitten, that I just cannot deal with. So I was like, right, we'll make some penny gloves. Got the pattern, seemed easy enough. Had some beautiful hand-dyed wool. So this wool is from Bendigo Wool & Mills. It was originally in the colour Almond 5-ply. And I used a plant, I can't remember what the name is, I'll pop it somewhere. And it came out with the help of alum, iron, I think it was just iron, I don't think I used copper. Various shades of green. I have no idea how much I dyed, so we were like, yeah, that ball looks like it could be enough. Let's just go for it. So these are my first pair of penny gloves. They were done on the recommended 3mm needles in Magic Loop. Yeah, Magic Loop. And the only modification that I made is I added in how many extra stitches you use to pick up for the thumb and the hand part, because I just felt like it wasn't enough. So first one did look a little bit messy because there was quite a gap, and it was the first time I'd done Magic Loop, properly done Magic Loop. That wasn't Jenny's Magic Cast On. So this is what they look like. I absolutely love them. Like, I can't believe how much I love them. I loved knitting them up. They knit up within, I'd say, 24 hours, maybe a little bit longer. So the astute of you that may be able to tell is one of these is not like the other. So I got to about halfway through my increases on this one, and I ran out of yarn. And as it was hand dyed, I was like, I don't think I have any more of the same color. So I went through the stash of hand dyed yarn that I'd done in this batch, found one as close as I could get. Now from far away you probably can't tell the difference, but up close, yeah, there's a difference. So, oh well. I blocked them. They are super comfortable. They didn't grow a huge amount, but just enough to be nice. It was more to neaten out the stitches than anything. So I cast them off and then showed a friend of mine who I gave away a jumper to that I knit. And she's like, yes, I need some. Yes, please. So she originally asked for them in black, and I messaged her at the time. I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And then I messaged her back and I was like, actually, you know what? No, you're not getting black. I hate knitting in black. My eyesight is not good enough for that. But I've got a yarn for just the thing. So I came up with this one. So she's got littler hands than I do. So I'm hoping they're not going to be too big, because they do fit me, although they are a tad bit tight on me, so they should be fine. So that's them. And I did do the increased amount for the thumb join. Something I do love about this pattern is it has some rows of pearls to stop it from scrolling all the way up, because we know how much stocking net loves to roll in on itself. So I'll show you these a little. These ones aren't blocked yet, so they're still need a good blocking, and she will be getting those tomorrow. So they are my penny gloves, size 3mm, size 3mm needles, 5-ply yarn, hand dyed from Bendigo Woolen Mills. This is just cheap Tamu yarn, but it's really thick. It actually feels thicker than 5-ply. Super comfy, super soft. So those are my penny gloves. Next I have, what do I have next for a finished object? What's on my list? The rest of the things I don't have here. The first, I believe I showed you on the previous podcast as a whip, and that was a gift knit for my dad for Christmas, which was a grey half fisherman's rib-ish style scarf. I'll pop in some photos. I think I took some, and that was on 6mm needles with merino and mohair. Turned out so well. I was so happy with it. It blocked up a dream. It looked so nice. It was so soft, and it grew. Holy moly, did it grow. Dad loved it, which was awesome. I can't wait to see him wear it in winter. It is very much in the depths of summer. We've just had a cool change after 3-4 days of 40 degree, almost 40 degree heat. I think that's about 102 plus in Fahrenheit. I could be wrong, but I think that's about it. And the next two things I made, again, was the same pattern for a gift knit for Christmas, and they were the Monogram hot water bottle covers. Again, I'll pop in some pics. I think I took some. I hope I took some. So one was for the same lady who's getting these penny gloves. So I knit it up in an lion wool thick and ease and thick and quick, something like that, bulky oatmeal on, what did I make them on? I feel like it was like 8mm needles, something around, like, it was chunky, maybe even 9mm needles. And duplicate stitched the Monogram in Modavera Monkey ink. They turned out so good. I was so happy. The second one was actually for her mum, and it was a purple and a pink combination in mushroom, which you wouldn't assume would be purple, but it was purple, and Dusty, which was pink. Again, Monogram toe initials on it, and they absolutely loved it. They came up really well. They blocked really well. I'd never done duplicate stitch before, so that was interesting. Yeah, it took me a few goes to get it looking bright, but I definitely enjoyed it. It wasn't a chore to do. I mean, it was such bulky yarn, it didn't take long at all. I feel like the actual hot water bottles themselves probably only took an evening of knitting, so maybe 2-3 hours, if that. And then the duplicate stitch on top, which I didn't do at the same time because I had to buy the wool. But they were all my finished objects. Now, my mum watches my podcast, and one of the pieces of feedback she gave me was she doesn't understand all of the abbreviations. So when I said FOs, whips, and things, she's like, I don't understand what are they? So for those who are new to knitting or don't know the abbreviations, FO is finished object and whip is work in progress. Yeah. Just have a little sip. So, works in progress. Two that are continuing from last podcast is, or one I should say, I'm not sure if I had started that one, my Eva Cardigan. Now, we have a little bit of progress, not a huge amount. I've finished the shoulders and joined the front. So I'm just about to knit. Am I in the round? Possibly in the round. Oops, I have dropped some stitches. Pick those up. This is knitting up beautifully. I love the pattern. Super easy to follow. The yarn is just, oh my gosh. You wouldn't know that it's partially acrylic and cheaper yarn. Like, it is so soft. Right, now that that's back on the needles, I believe I am fully in the, not quite fully in the round. So we're almost there. So I'm now I've knit the back part of the yoke. We're knitting the front. Bit more of the back and starting the front V panel. So that's what that's looking like. I absolutely love this yarn. Like, I cannot express enough how nice it's knitting up. So it feels like alpaca. They do not want to stay on their needle. It feels like alpaca from Spotlight in the colour of rust, and 100% merino. I cannot remember what the colourway is, from Temu. And I'm really enjoying it. I didn't get to knit as much of it as I had wanted to over Christmas because I did a lot more knitting helping my mum. So my personal knitting did not get a lot done, but got a lot done with things that I helped mum with. Now, I don't think I had this as a whip, my last podcast, because Mum and I cast it on together. I'm pretty sure it was either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So we cast on the Farnham Tee. And I have to preface, at this point, I didn't realise there was a Farnham sweater. So the Farnham Tee is by Sophie of the Knit Pearl Girl. Again, I can't remember if I spoke about it or not in the last podcast. So if I did, apologies. I really, again, pretty much at the same point as the Eva Cardigan. Part of the back of the yoke, the shoulders, and I've just joined those at the front. So now we're just knitting the front yoke. So this Mum and I are doing together. She's doing it in a 5-ply cotton, I believe it is, in a beautiful blue. No, she's not. I can't remember what she's knitting in. The blue something else. Anyway, so we are knitting this together. So there was a lot of me knitting some, helping Mum with hers, teaching her some new techniques, doing a bit more of mine, helping Mum with hers. So the shoulders were a bit interesting. It took a little bit to decipher the pattern for the shoulders after we picked up the stitches, because it wasn't exactly the clearest on what to do. So thankfully some prior knitting knowledge and looking at the photos on Ravelry helped with that, and I ended up being able to figure it out. So I actually ended up knitting the shoulders on mine and the shoulders on Mum's, and then showing her how to join these bits together. So again, we're doing this together. She's done really well. We've actually done more than I thought we had. So I don't work on this when I'm not with her. So that's that one. Ooh. I also have, now I am knitting, and I can't seem to find it, the Ranunculus. I'm not sure where it's gone, but maybe it's in here. No, not sure what I've done with it, but Mum and I, it's in here. No. He gone walkies. But anywho, I am knitting the Ranunculus. Oh, maybe it's in that. Give me a moment. Nope. Not sure where it's gone. Anywho, I'll pop up some pictures. Don't you love that? Mum wanted to cast on something for New Year's Day, so we decided on the Ranunculus. So I'm knitting mine in bamboo silk cashmere blend in a kind of light brown colour, which is knitting up nicely. And Mum is knitting hers in a really gorgeous blue cotton. Hers is going to be a lot more gapey than mine is. A lot more holy. She, as soon as she saw that the Lovely Day Knits YouTube on the Ranunculus, she's like, yes, I need to make that. I want mine to look like that. So thanks to Alicia from Lovely Day Knits, Mum had decided she wanted to knit the Ranunculus and have it similar gauge and everything to hers. So she was like, can you do it with me? I was like, okay, no problem. I've already knit one, so no problem. I can knit one with you. It'd be nice to have another one. I'll do it in a completely different yarn, because the first one I made was in wool, in merino, and it was purple. So this one is going to be completely different. And it's knitting up really nice. I think it's going to be pretty good. So we started with the cast on, and I said to Mum, this is a different cast on. We haven't done it before. Do you want to give it a go, or do you just want to do a cast on that you know? She's like, no, we'll try the new one. So we watched some YouTube of how to do it. There's a lady on YouTube, I cannot remember her name, but I will pop it in the description below, who talks you through all the techniques needed for the Ranunculus. So we watched that. I picked it up pretty quickly. I believe it was the double twist loop cast on. I think that's what it's called. Very similar to a long tail cast on, which is why I think I picked it up fairly quickly. Mum, on the other hand, it took us a whole evening. Lots of frustration, some breaks, some tears, and me trying to figure out how my mum learns the best. what's the easiest way to teach her how to do things. I think it took us like 4 hours before she got it. So she was using her yarn that she's using for the Ranunculus and metal interchangeable needles. I reckon we were 3 hours in and she would get close, but still, like, it was not happening for her. And she was so frustrated. I'm like, are you sure you just don't want to do your normal one and then we can get on with the pattern? No, I'm not giving up, she says. As frustrated as you could ever imagine. No, I'm doing it. Okay. We stopped to have dinner. We went back to it. There was a lot of deep breathing. And then I'm like, okay, we're going to do something different. Put away your yarn that you're using, the cotton, because half the problem is she was finding it very slippery. I'm like, let's get my wool out and try on some wool. We finally got somewhere. She was still having struggle with it slipping off or her feeling like it was too loose and it not working. But she was getting there a lot quicker with the technique. So I'm like, okay, let's try something else. So we swapped out the metal needles for bamboo needles. Bang, she got it. Almost straight away. So I got her doing a good probably 50 or 60 cast-ons with bamboo needles and the wool until she was confident. I'm like, okay, now let's swap out my wool for the cotton. And we did that. And we had a little bit of a step back, but that was fine. It took her, I reckon, 5 minutes after that, and she picked it up, no problem. She cried, bless her cotton socks. Like, she was so proud of herself, and she was so happy that there were tears. And she's like, see, I told you I wasn't going to give up, and I was going to do it. And I'm like, I had no qualms that I knew she could do it. There were multiple times where she'd get it, but then she'd overthink it. And I think that was half the problem. She was overthinking. And it was just too slippery for her having the cotton on the metal needles. As soon as we changed to those bamboo needles, oh my God, what a difference. So, the Ranunculus. We've done the collar. And I have started the yoke pattern. Mum hasn't quite got there, I don't think yet. And again, as with the Farnham Tee, I'm only doing that when I'm with her, which is probably why I can't find it, because it's at her house. I probably didn't even bring it home with me. Anywho, going well. It was, oh my God, when it was more frustrating than teaching her the Ivy Tee, the Ivy top. Oh my gosh. So the next thing we have is another pair of socks. I am knitting the I'm So Basic socks by Summer Lee. Oh my God, where did I get Sophie Lee from? From Summer Lee. And I'm using a variegated 5-ply, I think it's cotton nylon or merino nylon blend. I can't remember actually. That's what it's coming up like. I should show it that way. And I did the new cast on that we learned because I actually really love how it looks. So it's got shades of blue, tan, beige, cream, pink. I'm loving it. I'm using my 2.75, I think, or my 2.25, sorry, Chargoose, which the best sock needles. Love them. Hopefully it fits. It's very tight, so I really am hoping that blocking is going to loosen everything up a bit. But I'm loving that, so I'm just doing the leg part at the moment. And that's those. Again, that's a Temu wool, and I will add a little bit of a disclaimer at the end about Temu wool. The other pair of socks that I'm knitting are also a Summerly pattern. Now, I did try to make these last year in a very, very woolly wool that had been salvaged from a sweater. But I had decided it was just too old, too felted, and it wasn't working. It wasn't looking good. I don't know why, but I was struggling with the pattern. I don't know why it just wasn't looking good. So I gave up on those. And then this year, I was like, no, I'm going to knit them again. I'm going to give it a go. And I got to a point where every single project I have on my needles was just knit. So just stocking knit. And I just needed something to knit that wasn't plain ribbing or stocking knit. I was just sick of it. So I'm like, my Hibernal socks, perfect. Simple, easy. I know exactly what yarn I want to use. So I cast them on. So what I'm doing is I've got 2 colours. That's what they look like. So we've got, it's kind of like an oatmeal-y wheat colour. And a tanny brown, I'd say. They are gorgeous. So I did the cast on in the first 3 rounds in the main colour, which is the paler of the colours. Then I did the ribbing, 1 by 1 ribbing in the darker colour. And now I'm into the leg and I've done the first repeat of the pattern. I'm absolutely loving it. It is knitting up so nice. I am using the 2.75 needles from Chalgu. I believe they're the 9-inch. So pretty. I'm absolutely loving it. The only thing I have found, and it's merino, by the way, that I'm using, that I have found with the Hibernal pattern, and I'm not sure about any of the other texture patterns, I haven't looked, is that it's a written pattern, which usually I love, and I'm all for written pattern. But for this, I found it easier with a chart. So I've got, not here, a notebook where I write, like, if I need to mark off rows and things. So I've written out the 4-row pattern, but I was really struggling to keep up with the pattern. So what I did was use Stitch Fiddle online, and I've written up the chart, and I cut and paste it into Canva, made however many copies I need for however many repeats I need of the 4-row pattern. So I can just go along now, follow my chart, and tick off as I go. So much easier. Like, I love written textured pattern. I really do. It's usually my go-to. But for this, I just couldn't keep following, like, where I was at. I don't know why. Like, I managed to do it. So now I've got the charts that I've made, and I can just highlight as I go. I made a little key for it and everything. I won't show it to you because it is a paid pattern. So I don't want to share any of that, but I'm absolutely loving making them. They're looking fabulous, and I'm pretty happy, to be honest. That is all of my whips. So many. So plans and acquisitions I'm going to do together, but I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. I got, so I have decided to make the Lume, I hope that's how you say it, the Lume sweater. I cannot remember who it's by, but I'll put that up. I want to try and use as much of my stash as I can. But for this sweater, what I wanted, I just didn't have. Usually I'm a go-to cream navy blue girl. Love it. I mean, you can see a lot of the things that I do are blue or shades of blue. But I didn't want to do that because I felt like everyone does navy blue and cream or blue and cream or shades of blue. I didn't want to do olive green, even though I love olive green or a shade of green. And I was like, what colour sweater don't I have, or cardigan don't I have? And I was like, brown. I actually don't have a brown sweater or a brown cardigan. That'll be nice. So I ordered the Keepsake Fabric Co. 100% organic wool in the colour mushroom, and I think it's like chocolate or chestnut, maybe chestnut. It's like a dark brown. So that's what this one looks like. It's this beautiful oatmeal-y, it's just gorgeous, like super soft. It could, I guess, be a little bit on the scratchier side, but I don't think so. Especially, I've knit with it before, and once it's washed and everything, it feels fine. So I ordered it from Spotlight, and usually with Spotlight, they're pretty good, like everything they'll send together. So this was shipped separately from the dark brown. I don't know why. And of course, the cream colour came first, which is what I'm using as the secondary colour, and the dark brown for the base. Of course, this one come first, so I couldn't even start this sweater. I was like, well, if the other one had come first, I could at least start it. But no, this one came first. So I'm hoping that by the next podcast, that'll be cast on. I'll have the yarn for it, and I'm super, super excited to do a colourwork sweater. I haven't done one before. So it's also possibly one of my Make 9, which I will be doing a separate video for. My mum went to Melbourne last week. So we live in country Victoria, Australia. It's about an hour and a half from my mum's house to the CBD of Melbourne. And there's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful yarn haberdashery sewing store called Morrison Sons. And Mum hadn't been there for years, and they'd done this huge extension. So she just happened to be going in that direction. She's like, well, I can't not go in. And then I get a message from her later that day saying, I got you a little prezi when I went to Melbourne. I was like, ooh, we like little prezzies. So I went home yesterday to use and abuse the air conditioner because it was 40 degrees yesterday. And she gives me this. It's your West Yorkshire Spinners fleece, 100% wool, blue face Leicester roving Aran in light brown. And I think it says number 2. And I had been raving about how much I really, really want to try West Yorkshire Spinners. I know that in the UK/Europe, I'm not sure about America, Canada, but this is obviously quite readily available, and everyone raves about West Yorkshire Spinner. But here in Australia, it's quite expensive for a 100 gram hank of yarn. I believe it's like around $35 for this one. I'll put whatever that is in pounds US there. And it's a light brown colour, and I'm in love. I am 100% in love with this yarn. Like, it's so squishy. It's so soft. I can feel the rusticness of it. Like, it's definitely a woolly wool, that's for sure. So I spent a good, I reckon, 2 hours last night looking through Ravelry to see what people have made with it. Because I only have this one skein. I mean, I can get more if I need more. And Mum's like, well, when I go back to Melbourne in 5 weeks' time, I can get you another one. Yes, I can get it online and delivered. Just saying. But, so I have one skein. And I found the Westwood beanie. Sorry, I just heard some voices outside. The Westwood beanie, which I will put somewhere. And I'm going to make that. And I think it's going to look amazing. I'm going to get my friend either to make me a pom-pom or buy a pom-pom to go with it. I don't know why, but I suck at making pom-poms. The other acquisition I have is this beautiful, beautiful, soft, bouncy wool from Bendigo Wool and Mills. It is called Bounce. It is chunky. It is airy. For those of you in the rest of the world, it is pretty much the same as Drops Air. It's the same blown yarn, the same ply weight of yarn, pretty much the same length per skein of yarn from memory. And I have wanted this yarn for so long. It is the most beautiful confetti, funfetti colour on a beautiful, I'll say, off-white base. I love it. Like, I don't know what, it's just fun. Like, it screams fun. I wish you could feel it, how soft it is, how warm it is. Like, oh my goodness. So I am going to make the Berlin scarf with this yarn. I'm hoping it knits up super quickly. I mean, it's in the middle of summer here, so it really, there's no timeline, but I'm so excited to use it. It was on sale. I do believe they will be discontinuing it. I really hope they don't. So I bought 5 balls of this, which is a perfect amount for the Berlin scarf. I may possibly buy some more. And maybe make something else, because it was super, super affordable. Like, it was from $10 down to $7.50 Australian. Again, I'll put conversions. Each ball, and it's just the most beautiful ball. There was someone that I was watching on YouTube that had made something with it. I can't remember who it was or what they made, but I remember looking at it going, yes, I need to buy it, and I bought it then and there. The other thing I was thinking about maybe using it for was the Daydreamer cardigan by Sari Nordlund. I think. I can't remember. I'm so rubbish at remembering who designed what. It's really bad. I need to get better at it. Anywho, that's Bounce. Isn't she adorable? And the last acquisition I have, which leads me perfectly into what I wanted to talk about, is this gorgeous blue mohair. She is beautiful. And she's going to go with a gorgeous blue 4-ply baby merino blue for the April cardigan, and I'm super excited to swatch that up. I did swatch it up with a different merino, but it just didn't look right. It was too dense. I mean, the colour looked great, but the fabrics itself was too dense because the merino was already an 8 ply. And the sweater is gauged to an 8 ply. So it was just too dense. So I'm going to get a 4 ply in a very similar colour. This was from Temu. So that leads me to, Mum and I were talking about different yarns, different brands of yarn, how expensive it can be. Do you get what you pay for? That type of conversation. And as you have seen on my 3 podcasts so far, I have bought a lot of Temu yarn. And yes, Temu is very controversial in ethics, morals, and all of that stuff. Please don't judge. I don't want to hear negative comments. This is a safe space of positivity. And lately, both between her and myself, we have been buying more branded, better quality yarn. And I have made the decision that I will no longer be buying any more yarn from Temu. Partially because of the ethical thing around Temu, but also mixed quality. There's Mum knit up something that I gave her some Temu wool for, and she was shocked at how nice it was and how nice it knit up. She wouldn't have known that it was. And she's completely right. There's some Temu wool, some merino wool that I've got that is stunning. It is super soft. It knits up really nice. It washes well. Again, the merino, super soft, super fluffy, knits up beautifully, washes well. But I think my days of buying wool from Temu are done. After doing a few more projects with the Bendigo wool, with some Morris & Son wool. Mum knit up a swatch yesterday with Morris & Son's Empire 10 ply, and it was like a cloud. It was so nice. It will make the most beautiful garment or scarf or whatever it is she knits up with it. Yeah, okay, they are pricier, but I think in this respect, you do kind of get what you pay for. And I'd love to support some more local, to me, mills. I love Bendigo, and it is such a well-priced yarn. All of them are so well-priced. Beautiful colourways. I want to go and explore Morris & Sons more and see what they've got. Their home brand wool, the Empire, is super soft, knits up beautifully. I mean, they have West Yorkshire spinners, so we might have to treat ourselves. It is more of that. Pardon me. So Mum and I are going to organise a day, probably a Wednesday, because I don't like Wednesdays, to go into Melbourne. We'll get the train in, we'll go have a lovely lunch together and spend some time in Morris & Sons and possibly get some little prezzies to come home. So yeah, I just wanted to mention the fact that I'm no longer going to be buying Temu yarn. I will most likely use whatever I've got. Some of it I probably will destash because it either didn't come as I had thought it would, or I find it too scratchy. So I will probably destash some of it. Some of it I will keep. And just rebuild up my stash with good quality, nice yarn. I kind of feel like now I've been doing this like daily knitting since the start of last winter. So what's that? May, June, July time. And I'm good enough now that I know that I can knit a sweater. I know I can do cables. I know I can do lace. I can knit a cardigan. I knit mittens. Like, I'm a confident, and I'd say intermediate knitter now. That I want to start using better quality yarn. And just spend that little bit more if I need to get that. But that's about it for today. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I do have more acquisitions. I received 1 or 2 knitting books for Christmas. 2. The first one that I got was 200 Fair Isle Designs by Mary Jane Muckleston. So part of my plans for 2026 is to knit my own Fair Isle sweater. I have already gone through all of the different patterns in this book and chosen the ones that I would like to use, and have used Canva to help me switch around the different patterns to see how they work together. I'm not sure what yarn I'm going to use yet. I don't even know when I'm going to try and start it. I think I have a base pattern to go from, so I need to figure out how the motifs are going to fit into that pattern stitch wise, if gauges are going to work, and all of that. So it's just the most beautiful book. At the front it talks about what Fair Isle is, some things about how to knit, how to cast on, about different yarns, about Jameson's, about Shetland spun wool and stuff like that. So it's super interesting. It would be great for a beginner who likes that style, because it does teach you how to cast on, how to correct mistakes, how to weave in ends, how to hold the yarn, how to do circular knitting, tension, and everything you basically need to know to start. I absolutely love it. Now, I can't remember if I showed this book or not last podcast. It's called Vintage Knits, from the 25 Classic Patterns of Modern Knitters from the National Library of Australia. I love anything vintage, pretty much. And these are all vintage knitting patterns with the pictures of what they originally look like. They all have different names. There's men's, women's, children's. I absolutely love it. I haven't knit from it yet, but I cannot wait to find something, even a baby knit for my friend who's got a little one. Could be pretty cute. I mean, look at those little pants. How cute are they? Like, oh, adorable. So cute. Absolutely adorable. So if there's someone in your life who likes to knit and likes vintage things, highly recommend. Patterns look pretty straightforward. I think that's it. I will be filming a make 9 for the year. I haven't done all the knits I did in 2025, only because I feel like all the knits that I did in 2025 are either in podcast 1 or podcast 2. I haven't been seriously knitting all 2025, so I really only had 6 months, I guess, of serious knitting that I did. I had done a quick little story on Instagram with all the things that I had knit. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Have a lovely rest of January. I'm still filming for the project vlog for the Eva cardigan. Again, I didn't get much done, so that's coming along. I've got all my whips that I'm working on. I've got a fair few swatches that I've done for plans coming up. I also have a knit along starting shortly with the book club cardigan. I've got another cowl coming up as well, I believe. But yeah, some busy knitting. Obviously, I won't be having as much knitting time as I have been, as the holidays are now over. But hopefully still getting in an hour, 2 hours a day would be great. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it there. Have a lovely week and month, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.